Wow, my hair is a mess today. All right, boys and ghouls. So I've been promising this video for a couple days now. I'm off. Hi, sweetie. How are you today? I know. I just turned the camera on. This one's going to be a long video though because I'm doing my palette collection. And I watched your video yesterday and haven't had a chance to respond to it yet. Your story is absolutely beautiful, sweetheart, and I just have so much to say about it that I haven't taken the time to do a comment yet. Um, because it really was a beautiful story, and I was crying with you, girl, trust me. Hi, Nancy. How are you today? This one's going to be a long one, guys, because we're going to do my palette collection. That's why I'm sitting in a different place in my room today. Unfortunately, this side of my closet, the door doesn't sit right. The foundation's cracked a little bit in the house. So unfortunately, you see half of my closet in the background. It is going to be a very long video. Your jewelry addiction video is going to be ridiculous. This one's going to take a little while too, trust me, because eyeshadow palettes is the one thing that I can't seem to declutter that I'm very, very addicted to. I might do a liquid lipstick collection as well, but we'll see. We'll see how this video goes. We'll see if people like it. Today's my day off, so I figured today would be a good day to do this. I'm going to apologize in advance if some point you guys hear my dogs barking. That's because my mail lady, I'm actually friends with her. She hangs out at the place that I work at, and she'll knock on my door if I get a package, and I know Ipsy's supposed to come in today, so my dogs will start barking if she knocks on the door. But let's go ahead and jump into this. I want to know after this live if you guys want to see specific palettes, if you want to see certain types of looks. I'm still new to doing YouTube. I'm still a little nervous. I don't know what people really want to see, but makeup's just something that's fun to me. So, and just so you guys can see, let me move up here. This is my makeup for today. I used a palette that I decided I'm going to try to work on panning this year on my off days. So it's just the an older Urban Decay palette that I said I was going to try to pan. It is a purple look. Yes, it's purple and pink because I absolutely love those two colors. And I wanted to do something fairly simple. I'm going to get right up in the camera so you guys can actually kind of see. My lighting is going to change. I'm sitting next to the open windows today just because. Let me get situated again here. Oh no, they're falling over. I'm going to be a big dork today, you guys. If you want to see swatches of any of the palettes as I go along, any colors, just let me know. I really should have grabbed some makeup wipes. I think I have actually here. I have my little travel pack. Oh, I'm going to be me. That's all I can do. I'm the type of person that I can't be anybody other than who I am. I have good days, I have bad days, but I'm always me. I just can't help it. When did I begin to collect makeup? That's a good question, Nancy. I've always been into makeup. I've always worn a lot of makeup. I was a goth girl growing up in high school, so I did wear a lot of makeup then, but when I truly fell in love with makeup was probably 8 years or so ago. I saw a look, somebody had done like a watermelon eyeshadow look, and I thought it was the cutest thing, and I was like, I could do that. I really think I could do that. And that was my first like foray into trying to do something unique. I had a cheap like made in China like big color palette, and that's what I created that look with. And I fell in love with makeup at that point. I started trying to learn how to blend. I started watching more videos on YouTube, and it just kind of went from there. It turned into something that became my passion, and that's why I really started doing makeup often, and that's why I decided to kind of take the plunge and start doing it here on YouTube, because I've had a lot of people like through work and stuff like that. I work in a bar slash bowling alley, and a lot of people were telling me, your makeup's amazing. Why don't you do YouTube? And I told them it's just because I don't think I'd be good at it. But I have friends, like one of my best friends here, her name's Erica, and she actually works at Sephora, so that does hurt a little bit when it comes to the addiction. She works at Sephora, And even she was telling me, you know, your makeup's really good. Why don't you try to do this? She's like, you have a decent little following on Instagram. And I haven't really posted about my YouTube on Instagram at this point because I'm still very uncomfortable in front of the camera. And I film with my phone. I don't have a good camera setup. I don't have a ring light or any sort of lighting. So I haven't really put it out there that I'm doing this. But you guys ready to jump into palettes? I think what we're going to do is do we want to do random palettes first, or do we want to go by brand first? None of your friends know about your YouTube, Nancy, but your looks are beautiful, Nancy. I've seen your looks and I have watched your videos, and you have some really beautiful, beautiful looks. Colors. Oh, colors would be so hard to do because I have so many different, like I have a lot of rainbow palettes because that's just what I tend to prefer. I'm not really into a lot of neutrals. I can do a neutral eye look, and I think I'm going to do one soon on my channel just because that is what's most popular. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with random palettes, and there is a lot of them. Let's grab this guy here. This is one of my older palettes, and it's actually one of my favorite indie brands, but this is the Sugarpill Heartbreaker palette. It's really a quad, but I included quads in this video as well. Anything that has more than a couple eyeshadows, I went ahead and put in this. I need to make a video doing one of your looks. Nancy, that'd be really cool. I would absolutely collab on you with that. The names that attract you are awesome. What do you mean? Okay, so this one's Sugarpill. This is a well-loved palette, you guys. This actually is my favorite red of all time. The names of the palettes. Part of the reason I like the brands I like is because of the pigmentation of the palettes and the shadows that they have. So this is the Sugarpill Heartbreaker palette. As you can see, this is my all-time favorite red. I probably should have tried to clean some of these up. This color here, it's Love Plus by Sugarpill, and this is a deep matte red. It's super pigmented. Actually, this one I'll swatch because it is one of my favorite all-time colors. So this is the Sugarpill Love Plus eyeshadow, and this is one of my all-time forever favorite eyeshadows. There's no primer on my hand or anything. You couldn't see the bottom? Let me put this back up there then. So this is the Sugarpill, and that red is Love Plus. I don't, honestly, I can't think of the names of the other ones. I think the purple is Poison Plum. What? You're saying, how is that even possible? I'm so chatty when people do lives. It's ridiculous, and I've never gotten that message. So that seems absolutely absurd to me. So first palette, Sugarpill Love Plus. And let me go ahead and grab out one of these little mini makeup wipes. I really should have grabbed a pack of makeup wipes before I started, but these ones will work. They actually work pretty well. Now this palette in particular, and I have a few of them that do this, it is super pigmented. I think it's pretty much a pressed pigment. So this one does stain no matter what you do. So yeah. We are a little stain there, and that's going to happen probably pretty often through this video if I keep swatching. So the next one we got in BoxyCharm a couple months ago. It's the Ace Beauté Grandiose palette. I was really excited to receive this because it is my type of color story. I keep all the plastic and stuff in my palettes, you guys. It's ridiculous. So this is the Ace Beauté Grandiose palette. You've got a mix of mattes and shimmers in this one. They're all on the kind of burgundy spectrum. So this one, it looks a little red on camera, but it's a deep burgundy. And then you've got a pink here. You've got kind of a peachy orange shade here. And then, of course, you have your lighter transition colors. This actually has a lot of transition colors in it. And this one's great for actually just kind of a warm, smoky look that's not super extreme. So I can still use my red and not go too extreme with it. We'll go ahead and get the BoxyCharm ones out of the ones I've gotten in BoxyCharm out of the way. So this one we got in October. This is the Pure Midnight Masquerade, and this is a face palette, but I've only used it for shadows as of yet. I didn't even take the plastic all the way off this. I like leaving the plastic on because I feel like it kind of protects my shadows. I do have dogs, so if I can leave the plastic on, I do. So we'll do this side by side. This is the face side, which I actually end up using for shadow as well. The highlight in it's pretty, and I don't use a whole lot of blush. So like this color here, I wouldn't use it as a blush color, but I do use it as an eyeshadow. And then we'll do the other side is the actual eyeshadows. And this has a little mirror on it, so let me see if I can cover the little mirror. Here is the eyeshadow side. This color here, it looks kind of gold on camera, but it's actually got a greenish tint to it, and it's really pretty. This is almost all shimmers. There is, let me look at it. There is one matte shade in this entire palette, and that's Sneak Peek, which is kind of a brownish burgundy color. I haven't actually used that color, but I have done a look with this palette. It is on my Instagram. And then the last one I have two more from BoxyCharm. One I have not used yet. Neither one I've used yet. The other one I got yesterday. So you guys, if you've watched my unboxing video, you may have seen it. So this was December's BoxyCharm palette. It's the Suva Beauty Protege palette. And I have not used this one yet, but I do plan to. It has 2 highlights and then 6 eyeshadows. My favorite one is Aesthetic, because I absolutely love that word. And then this one is Structure and Poetic. I think I'm going to do an eye look with those 3 shades first, most likely. And then Theory is a really pinky toned blush. And then Era is the gold blush. Like I said, you guys, if you want to see any swatches as we go, let me know. This one and the next one I'm not going to swatch because... Well, this one I think I am going to use. The next one I'm not going to swatch because I think I'm going to put it in a giveaway video, which I haven't decided when I'm going to do a giveaway yet. Maybe 75 subscribers, either 75 or 100, depending on how fast things go. This is the palette we just got in the BoxyCharm for this month. I do love that BoxyCharm sends palettes, and this is a great brand, but personally, I don't like this formula from Tarte. It's just not my formula. It's the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3. And this is a beautiful palette if it's something you're into. But for me, it's not for me. I know there's a reflection on that center. Your giveaway ends at 150, Nancy. Very cool. So again, all neutral palette. The only problem with this, it's all shimmers. Every single color in it is shimmer. There is not a matte color in this palette. And if I'm doing a neutral look, I do like to have matte colors. And actually, I prefer matte colors and then just a pop of shimmer on my lid. I love a pop of shimmer on my lid when I'm doing a neutral look. And let's go into drugstore next that I don't have multiples of. So this first one is the Essence I'm With the Band palette. I didn't show you the outside. It looks like a cassette tape. And there's a reason why I got this palette. I have used it. It's an okay formula. There's nothing wrong with it. And for the price point, I think it's like 10 bucks. It's super good. However, this palette just made me smile. So this is the inside. And here's the thing. Like, this shade is called Jump Around from the House of Pain song. This one's Wannabe, which I think was the Spice Girls, if I remember correctly. This one's called Chasing Waterfalls, which was TLC. Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Don't Speak from No Doubt. What's My Age Again was Blink-182. To me, this palette was just fun. It screamed 90s, 2000s. And I just got a kick out of it for that reason. I literally bought this because of the theming. I have used it. I actually did a first impressions on this, and I struggled with it a little bit. The pigmentation in it's okay. It doesn't blend out very well, meaning it more blends away than blends out. But it's just fun. It's my personality that made me buy this palette. Let's see. This next one is the Beauty Glaze Pressed Glitter palette. A friend of mine from work actually picked this up for me from Amazon, and I'm in love with it. It works very, very well. These are all pressed glitters. I lay down a glitter glue before I use these, but you really don't have to. You can tap them on with your finger, but beware, they do stick to your fingers. And this thing is like, I want to say it's like 15 bucks, but it goes on sale all the time. You can get this for like $6 or $7. How do they swatch? Let's just swatch one. Pick a color, Nancy. Do you want me to swatch one of the really bold ones, or do you want me to swatch one of the more neutral ones? Or one of the whites? Blue? Actually, that I used when I did Minnie Mouse for Halloween, and I pressed that all over my blue eyeshadow because, I'm sorry, Minnie Mouse wears blue eyeshadow. Every time somebody does a Minnie Mouse inspired look, it's red with white dots, but I wanted to do actual Minnie Mouse. Athena, you want me to do one of the purple ones as well? Okay, so this is the blue on my finger. And then let me grab a purple. They're like pinky purple shades, actually. We'll do the light purple. So that's the blue and the purple. And then as far as swatching them, they swatch really, really chunky. But they are absolutely gorgeous. They do fall out a lot, and you can see there's still quite a bit left on my fingers. But they also wipe away relatively easy for glitter. They look good because they are good. They're messy to wipe away. They do kind of fall out a bit. I'll put a glitter glue down on top of my base eyeshadow. I'll take my finger and I'll press those in, and then I put a glitter glue over the top of that. Okay, let's see. I said we were doing drugstore. I'm going to go ahead with the drugstore, and we're going to include a couple of store brands. This thing, you guys, this thing is beat to death. It is almost gone. This was the first Melissa Michelle collab with Ulta. This had a matte liquid lipstick, which is gone. It had eyeshadows, blush, and highlighter. You guys are going to be like, oh my God, when I open this up, because it was dropped quite a few times. And then, yeah, this thing's a mess. So I'm not going to go into it too much. I do use the shade Harley for my brows, which is actually the only reason I still have this. This is, I promise you, this is, I'm pretty sure. No, I have one other palette that might look like this, but I don't think it looks anywhere near this disgusting. Let's go ahead and do this Sephora one. This guy is so old. I've had it forever. It's a pretty palette, but for some reason, I don't reach for it. So this was the Sephora and Pantone Universe palette. I honestly don't remember when this came out. I got it on sale at Sephora. I got it for like 15 bucks. And here's the thing. There's a couple colors in here that I've used for Halloween looks. And then I've picked it up a couple times, but it doesn't really call to me. So I'm going to try to pan some of this. And if I'm not able to, I think I'm going to finally declutter it. It is kind of a cool packaging. The little numbers right here, I know you guys can't see them when I hold it up like that. They do have numbers over them. And what they are is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pantone, but Pantone's actually a paint company, the company that does the makeup color of the year every year. And the numbers on it correspond with the colors in the Pantone paint. So I thought it was kind of cool. This has a huge mirror, and I don't have, unfortunately, it doesn't fold all the way back. This is a hard plastic packaging, so I can't actually fold the mirror back. But this is what the palette looks like, and you see my mess on my makeup desk. I have new brushes, I have a candle holding my phone up, and I have my Pepsi can. So this is what the palette looks like. The reason the blue is so dug into is because I did Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas last year as a Halloween look, and I used that. I mixed it in with my foundation. I did it twice. I mixed it in with my foundation the first time to kind of create a blue shade. I mixed it in with a white foundation, and then the second time I just brushed it over. Hi, Lady Dazed. How are you? You need to send me a phone tripod. Girl, I need all the help I can get with filming. Let me tell you. I have a very small house and I have my makeup station set up. Unfortunately, there's not a window right under above my makeup station. It's right next to it. But if I try to open it, the lighting comes in funny. So I'm a mess right now. And we're still going to continue on with random palettes. You need a backdrop. I've been thinking about making a backdrop, actually. I'm trying to decide what I want to make. I've got a feeling I'm probably going to end up with an all glitter backdrop because I am such a glitter girl. It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, we're already like 20 minutes in, you guys, and I've barely touched this pile. Let's see. I'm going to go into a couple that are new for me. You guys aren't going to be surprised by these because I've been using them lately. The first one I haven't dipped into at all. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to. I'm just not sure I'm going to. So this is the first Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. And let me open it up real quick and just show you guys what it looks like super fast. I haven't even touched this at all yet. But I'm finding I like the Vault a lot. So this is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. And it is absolutely beautiful. But I'm finding with all these colors, my eye goes everywhere in the palette. I don't know what I want to do with it. And there is actually a reason why I'm saying I don't know if I'm going to touch this guy. And we're going to get into that right now. And that is because I have the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vaults collection. And all four of those I've used here on my channel and posted the looks on Instagram. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault collection. I actually won both of these, and just the big palette, like I said, I'm very unconfident I'm going to really use it because I like these guys. So this is the Jaclyn Hill Vault collection. These palettes individually are super affordable. I can't remember exactly how much they are, but I know they're not super expensive palettes. Like, I'm used to a palette like this and we pay 50 bucks. It's definitely not that kind of price point. So this one is the Bling Boss palette. You can see this one's a little messy from when I used it. This one's all purples and like mauve-y shades. This one was my favorite of the four when I was using them. It was my favorite look that I created was from this palette. The next one is the Ring the Alarm palette, which should have been my favorite, but was not. This is a warm tone palette, all rusty and reddish shades. You like the purple shades? I love purple shades. They're very tricky formulas to make as far as eyeshadow, though. Purples are some of the hardest shadows. This one actually surprised me. This is the Armed and Gorgeous palette. And this green shade, this army green shade, is just beautiful. And I actually really like to put green and orange eyeshadows together. It started with a palette I'm going to talk about a little later, the Subculture palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Nancy, I'm telling you, that Armed and, what did I say it was? Armed and Gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's more matte than anything compared to the rest of the palettes. And then this one is the look I did yesterday, you guys. This is the Dark Magic palette. Now, this one is beautiful. And as much as I like dark shades, I feel like all I can create with this palette is a dark look or a neutral look. You have the Dark Magic palette, Nancy. Lady Days, trust me, I understand. Really, makeup is like the one thing that I actually spend money on for myself. My boyfriend has a 5-year-old that I have, they do live with me, and he's the greatest thing in the world. He is like a huge joy for me. But Lady Days, these are not that expensive. Oh, you have the Bling Boss one. They're all pretty. These ones aren't expensive. I want to say these are less than $30 each for each little palette. I want to say they're even cheaper than that, so I really should look into it. And like I said, I got this one in a giveaway, so check those out on YouTube because you can find them. I don't enter all of them, but Oh, Nancy says they're 15. So individually, each Jaclyn Hill Vault palette is $15, which it's really not bad for an eyeshadow palette. The formula is absolutely amazing. Morphe is they're a lower priced brand, but their quality is just as high, and that's why people like them so much. Morphe and ColourPop are the two brands that have really great formulas. They're but they're more drugstore price, so they're much more affordable. And Morphe palettes are massive usually. Like that Jaclyn Hill, this main one I showed you, that's a huge palette. Like even I can't figure out. I think that's one of the largest palettes I own, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's go into the next couple. These are kind of fun. These are my goth girl palettes. I literally got them because of what they were. So the first one's from Lunachick Cosmetics Labs. I got this one on sale too. I got this one for like 15 bucks at Christmas time. It's usually like 30. This is the Elvira palette. And I've only done one look with this one so far. But this palette is super, like the packaging on this is the coolest thing you have ever seen. So this is the packaging on this. One, the mirror is her dagger. You've got the little pop-ups. But this is the palette itself. This I feel like is more of a face shade, but it is beautiful in an eyeshadow. I have used it as an eyeshadow. And then you've got a bright blue. This is a beautiful burgundy. And then, of course, you have your standard color, which is black and white. And then you have a red up in the top. But this one I got because it's the goth girl in me had to have it. And same with this one, but this one is surprisingly amazing. This is the LA Monsters Classic Horror Palette. I have Jeffree Star, Nancy. I was waiting on that one because you know I have Jeffree Star. I think there's only one I don't have. This is the LA Splash Classic Horror Palette. I got this one at Christmas time after wanting it for a couple years. They released this line around Halloween, either a year or two ago. And I wanted it forever, and I finally got it. And I've done a look with this one, too. This is the Classic Horror Palette. Right now, I am obsessed with this palette. These colors are all absolutely true to how they look in the pan. I used, when I did my look, I used the orange shade, I used the pink, I used the red, I used the purple. I've actually done a couple looks with this, but I think I've only filmed or posted one of them. This is another somewhat affordable brand. It's from Sephora. They also have their own website, so it's Violet Voss, and I have two of these. This is the Rainbow palette. Now, if you don't like all shimmer palettes, this one is definitely not for you. But these pans are huge, and I want to say this one is, I want to say it's around the $20 to $30 mark. So this is the Rainbow palette. Again, these are all shimmer shades. And then there's a couple, like these two are somewhat similar when you try to put them on. And then obviously the two purples. But the two purples are a very good formula. So that's always a good thing. The yellow is actually really nice in this, Nancy. And I'm pretty sure I've seen you do quite a few yellow looks. Or looks with yellow in them. So this might be one you want to look into if you are okay with all shimmer palettes. I don't mind wearing all shimmer, and even if not, I can always grab from another palette to get a shimmer shade. The next one, these guys I believe are $18. This is the Violet Voss Fruit Sorbet Mini palette. This one is really hard to get out. I don't even think I can get it out. I think I have to take the sleeve out. So I like that it's packaged so nicely because I didn't have to worry about it breaking. I want to say this one was $18. And it's another rainbow palette. So there we have that one. This one I've done a look on my IG with it. But I have not filmed with it. If there's any palettes you guys want me to film with, or any like makeup looks you guys want me to try, I would be more than happy to do it. Okay. Let's get into what is actually the two biggest brands I own. Let me pull these over here. And some of these palettes are older, and some I will never, ever, 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 ever declutter no matter what. So this is the Urban Decay Chrysalis palette. I almost wish they still made this, but I don't because I never reach for it. This is the one I'm working on panning, and it's the one that's on my eyes today. One thing I do love about this is the brush in it and the packaging. There is no mirror in this, though. So this is the Urban Decay Chrysalis palette. This blue is beautiful. I'm wearing these two shades today, Infamous and Rockstar, and then I've also used Skimp in my inner corner. That's one of my favorite colors. I've actually dipped into that one quite a bit. But the brush in this is so nice. It's a little packing brush, and I kind of wish Urban Decay would make a little brush like this again. It's a super, super soft brush at that. And now this one is another one that is pretty darn destroyed. One of the colors is actually completely gone. This is the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. I wanted this one so bad because at the time, this was one of the first like red palettes on the market. Or warm tone, it's not red. There should have been a red in here, Urban Decay. Just my personal opinion. But this is the inside. You guys, please don't ride me for this one. This one's beat up and destroyed. The shade Ember's completely gone. I do really like, these two are the shimmers here. This is Scorched and Dirty Talk. Well, I guess there's three shimmers. Scorched and Dirty Talk are really pretty. And then I think this is Lombre. This shade is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then another Urban Decay palette, and I'm disappointed in myself that I bought this one. I really wanted this one. This is the Urban Decay Basquiat. Let's see, there's two different ones. This one's called Tenant. The packaging on this was super fun because it was Jean-Michel Basquiat's artwork. And the way they design these palettes, and if you see the little hanger on there? It was so these palettes could be hung on the wall as pieces of Jean-Michel Basquiat's artwork. And I think that whole concept was really cool. One thing I don't like, these are very strange to open. I don't know, I just didn't like the way they open. This is the inside of the palette. It's got a nice mirror. And these are the shades. And once I got this, I did get this on sale, but once I got it, it just, the pigmentation's a little rough on it. I have a really hard time working with this, and that surprised me because I did like Urban Decay shadows in the past, but I don't know if I've grown past them or I'm just not a fan anymore. But the shades are pretty, and one thing I do like about this is, like, you can wear these three or four colors together. You can wear these 3 or 4 colors together. I like the layout of it. I think the layout of it's really cool. I just don't reach for it because I don't find the formula very good. Okay, next Urban Decay. We'll go in with this guy. This was Christmas last year, 2 years ago. Last year. This is the Urban Decay Heavy Metals. Hey, stop. The Urban Decay Heavy Metals collection. I liked the packaging on this. I thought the packaging was really cute, and I liked the layout as well. So it actually comes all the way out. The mirror's in the middle. And then this is all shimmers again. My favorite color right here, what's it called? Of course, it's called Punk Rock. So Punk Rock and Metalhead. And as you can see, some of the pans I've completely gone through. So obviously I liked those colors. And some of them, like Ground, was a really dark color. Honestly, I don't remember what Twisted was. I think Twisted was like a green gold color. But I loved this one. If you can still get your hands on this one, it is one I recommend if you like all shimmers. I'm saving my favorite Urban Decay palette for the last one we do. This guy here, this is the Urban Decay Full Spectrum. I got this 2 years ago for holiday. The packaging on this was gorgeous, but it is heavy and bulky. And this is what the inside looks like. These, again, with Urban Decay, they're gorgeous colors, and I can get them to work, and I can get them to be pigmented. But this palette takes a little bit of work to really get the look I want with it. Now, I've created some gorgeous looks with it. It just takes more work than sometimes I want to give. Next, we're going to do the Moondust palette. Again, all glittery. I guess that's kind of a theme today, huh? It is a very glittery palette. So Urban Decay Moondust. I'm actually going to swatch one of these. You guys tell me which color you want me to swatch. We have a pink, which is Spectre, a red, which is Element, the purple's Magnetic, the green's Lightyear, and that's my favorite because Buzz Lightyear, like from Toy Story. Um, we have a silver, which is Granite. Surprisingly, the brown is called Lithium. It's one of my favorites. The blue is Vega, and the blackish blue color is Galaxy. And Nancy said red, so I'm going to swatch Element, and I'm also going to swatch Lithium because it surprised me. It wasn't a shade that I would have usually picked. So this is the red shade, which is not showing up because of how shimmery it is. And this is Lithium. And then we're going to swatch those. The red actually doesn't swatch very well, but it looks quite pretty. The reason I wanted to swatch Lithium is because it better shows the formula. This here is Lithium. Let's see. And then this is the red shade. That's, what's that called? Element. But Nancy, on the eyes, you can actually build that up a lot more. I wish it was more of a true red, but Lithium is beautiful. Lithium, the brown shade in the Moondust palette. As much as I hate brown shades and they're not my thing, yeah, it's my favorite color in the palette. And last but not least, and I am so very, very sad, last but not least for Urban Decay. I am so very sad that they don't make this anymore. It's the Urban Decay Electric palette. This is my #1 favorite all-time palette. I have a favorite brand. It's not Urban Decay, but this is my all-time favorite palette. I hope this one's not super messy. These do all come with brushes. This is the packaging from the Electric. You love a red lip. I love a red lip too. Let me tell you, blue reds are like my go-to. Today I started with red and I put blue gloss over it because the red was too bright for what I had on today. So yeah, this one's a little messy. You can see it's a little powdery. So this is the Urban Decay Electric palette. And sadly, they don't make this guy anymore. Oh, it hurts my heart. If you can ever find this and you like bright eyeshadows, this is my #1 ride or die, holy grail, best bold colors in the world. Sadly, the red, not my favorite. It's too orange. Which blue, Nancy? There's Gonzo here. And then this one, let's see what it's called. This is Chaos. And then there's a green blue, which is Fringe. The first one. You like pink lips? I don't think I own many pink lips. I have like mauve tone nudish pinks, but I don't have a lot of pink. And I'm going to swatch Gonzo because Nancy said something about it, and it's one of my favorite colors in the palette. Look at that. Is that not insane? It is shimmery. Well, I guess it's not too shimmery. I do have glitter on my hand still. So Nancy, that is Gonzo. So again, if you can find this palette, get it. Like, I don't care if you find it on, there is a brand that does, if it doesn't weird you out, there's a company called, oh gosh, what's the name? Glambot. They do, sanitized used makeup. So it's basically makeup that beauty bloggers and YouTubers have gotten as PR, or they've bought and not liked, and they've swatched it maybe a couple of times. They send it to this company. I'm not really sure how that part works, how they get their products, or if they themselves, like if it's a group of bloggers that do it. But they sanitize the products with alcohol. Everything comes with a little seal on it. I've used them a couple of times, but you can buy products at a really large discount. Let's go with the little palettes next. I have a couple of those. So we're going to do MAC first. This is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I have bought from them. Their shipping takes a little while. Everything comes packaged very nicely. It all comes with a like a safety sticker that says that it's been sanitized from Glambot. I've only bought from them a couple times. I bought a NARS eyeshadow palette, which I've since decluttered. I just didn't care for it. And I've actually bought a couple lipsticks that were brand new. So, but I've bought them for like next to nothing, like $3 or $4 for a Stila lipstick. So this first little, I guess it's a 6-pan palette. It's the MAC Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, of course, I had to have this. I don't know if you guys know anything about Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's one of my favorite all-time movies. It's a cult classic. It's super campy, super cheesy, but it's amazing. So this is this guy. Now, I don't reach for this guy much, but this color here is beautiful. I used to really love MAC, and now I just, like, I still love MAC lipsticks. I really do. I know you're here for Jeffree Star, and here I am putting it off. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do the brand that Jeffree Star hates after these little ones, and then I'll do the Jeffree Star, and then I'll go into, like, I have Anastasia still to do. So this is the MAC Cinderella. Again, I picked it up because I love Cinderella. I'm a Disney girl, but this guy is beautiful. It is all neutrals, and this shade here, Omega, it's an amazing transition shade. Yes, Tim Curry is Frankenfurter. Tim Curry, to me, he really did, like, make all his characters. Like, Tim Curry as Pennywise was so scary and so cheesy at the same time. So next we have Huda Beauty. This is the Electric Obsessions palette. Nancy, you're probably going to like this one. So this is the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette. I believe these are $27. Hi, Amy Lynn. How are you? I was actually just chatting with Miss Amy Lynn in another live stream for one of our other friends. And this is the Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions palette. I actually got this based on a recommendation from a YouTuber, and it's a beautiful red palette. The only problem I find with this is everything kind of muddies together. I wanna really love it, but my blood sugar definitely kind of takes the cake. Okay, so I said I was gonna do, I agree that mini Hudas are amazing, and I want to get more of them. The electric one I think was really underrated. They were $17 each on Black Friday, and I wish I would have picked up a couple more of them. I kind of wish I would have got the purple, the amethyst one, and then the green one, which I believe was called Emerald. But like I said, with it, I don't, like, when I try to do an eye look, everything just kind of looks the same to me, which is, I guess, the point. But, okay, I said I was going to do the brand Jeffree Star hates, and then the Jeffree Star, because Nancy's here for the Jeffree Star, so I'm sure you guys can see it in my lap. Do you know what brand that I'm going to do that Jeffree Star hates? There's two brands he really, really, really talks crap about, but this one takes the cake because it was a friend of his. So, do we know what the brand is? You guys should know this. Come on. At least some of you should know this. Exactly. Kat Von D. So, we're going to start. This one's like, it's iffy if it's eyeshadow or highlighter. I use it as eyeshadow. So this is the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. The original one, not the little mini she just came out with. And I use this. It can be used as highlighter. I have used it as highlighter, but I use this over blacks. You can see it's super messy. I actually just did a look with this. And the cool thing about these is they are transformative shades. So if you put them over something like black, they take on a whole new life. The one I really like is the Ultraviolet Amethyst, though, in the middle. And I like this. I'm going to swatch it just on my finger because, and I don't even know if you can tell on camera, but it has a very blue shift to it, like purpley blue shift to it. And alone on the eyes, it's just quite beautiful. We're going to go through Kat Von D pretty quickly because, unfortunately, it's a brand that as much as I didn't want to, I've fallen out of love with. The formula doesn't seem as good as it used to be. I kind of want to get the Lolita palette, but at the same time, I'm like, am I going to dislike it just like I do a lot of these? Next one's the Kat Von D Divine. I got this for one color because it went on sale, and I'm pretty sure they still have it on sale at Sephora for like $20-some. This is the Kat Von D Divine palette. Look at that mirror on this, guys. It's so funny. So this is the Kat Von D Divine, and I seriously bought it for the green and the blue. But again, the shades together, like to create an eye look, they are very nice shades to go together. I just haven't really reached for it too much, and I should reach for it more. Next one's just a little quad. It's the Shade and Light Eye Quad in Plum. And this one is very affordable now. When it came out originally, it wasn't, but you can find these at TJ Maxx and Marshalls all the time now. So it's just a little mini quad, and it's perfect for an everyday eye look. You're not going to get a million looks out of this palette, but it's great to just do a quick eye look. And that's what I really like that guy for. Next one is one that was not around for long. And I don't know why this disappeared so fast. It was highly, highly, highly anticipated. It came out for like a month and then it was gone. And people were disappointed with the formula. I, on the other hand, I liked the formula. This is the Pastel Goth palette. Now, I do agree that this palette is missing a color that would be very important for a goth look. I like it, Amy. It's people say the colors are chalky, and they are, but I feel like it was supposed to be like chalk pastel medium. So that's why I liked it. So this is the Pastel Goth palette. And honestly, these colors to me, people say they had trouble with them blending. They were chalky. They blend together so pretty for me that I didn't understand what they were talking about. And last Kat Von D is this pretty beautiful palette right here that I don't reach for. And I don't know why I don't reach for it. One of the colors I loved in it was a purple color, and the purple's not good in it, in my opinion. Techniques. I'm not sure what you mean by that, darling. This is this palette, and the packaging on this, you guys. Oh my god, the packaging, I love it. I agree, I never reach for it, but honestly, I don't think I'll ever declutter it because I love it. Because I love the packaging. It's so my aesthetic. So this is the Sinner and Saint palette. And I've actually had people say, and I personally don't do this, but they say if you close one side, that it's a lot easier to work with as far as a look. This one was not cheap. This was Christmas last year, and I want to say this was $60-ish. Again, I got it for the packaging. I got it because I was really anticipating the brand. But a lot of people say if you close each side, it makes it easier to work with. 62. I think you're right, Amy. I think it was 62. And I did buy it for 62. And I wish I reached for it a little bit more. But honestly, again, I love this palette for what it is. Even if I don't reach for it much, I have created some pretty looks